Good morning, I'm PolarizedMoon and welcome back to RuneScape. So, I looked it up and I found out the reason why the scrying orb didn't work is because if I go to the tutorial person in Birthroom, it doesn't work. So I need to teleport from somewhere else. So I need to teleport from this guy like I did when I did it the entire time. Okay, so now it should be... Contains mystical teleport information. Okay, so now I can go back to Varrock and get the thing from the guy, and I did it all the way that I'm supposed to do it. So we're all good this time. So now we've got it. We're doing the thing. We're doing it correctly, and that's the best part of everything. So now we can go back. Now I can get that quest done so that I can do Wanted, which I think I've done before, because I think that's all about a guy trying to break into the place, and I think you fight like a wizard at the end of it. I don't remember. But we're gonna get it done. Well, after this. Well, then we're gonna do some archaeology stuff, and then we'll do that. How dare you wear so— oh, that's right. I forgot I had to take this off. Over here. Well, have you managed to use my scrying orb to obtain the information yet? Yes, I have. I've got it right here. Excellent. Give it here and I shall examine the findings. Speak to me in a small while. So, yeah, it's in my deal upheld. What do I get in return? Indeed, a deal is always a deal. I offer you 3 things in reward your efforts on behalf of my Lord Zamorak. The first is knowledge. I offer you my collected research on the Abyss. I also offer you 1,000 points of experience in rune crafting for your trouble. The second gift is convenience. Here, you may take my pouch that I discovered amidst my research. You will find it to have certain interesting properties. Your final gift is that of movement. I will from now on offer you a teleport to the Abyss, whenever you should require it. Huh? A bit? What are you talking about? You told me that you would help me with rune crafting. And so I have done. Read my research notes. They may enlighten you somewhat. Yay! I did the thing. Fantastic. This intermittent... Was this ever a mini-quest before? I don't remember. So the pouch is for rune crafting. I can wear this again. The Abyssal Book. A compendium into research into chaotic space, author unknown. The strange dimension that we have named Abyssal Space is something of an enigma. It was first discovered during a routine teleportation experiment that seemingly went wrong. We're still not sure what caused this teleportation failure, but the discovery of a previously unknown dimension led to a flurry of research from the Zamorakian Magical Institute, henceforth known within this document as the ZMI. Under direct orders to examine this dimension, I feel I can accurately state the following conclusions. Conclusion 1. Abyssal space is not a dimension in a way that we understand the term of examples for such as Zeneris or Frenesque. Rather, is the name we have given to the dimension that exists between other more developed dimensions, the glue that keeps each dimension together yet separate, if you will. The abyssal space's existence at the fringe of reality means it does not conform to the same guidance of space and time as Gielinor does. You may enter it and leave it from an identical spot, yet reappear many hundreds of miles at your target destination. The teleportation phenomenon that we use daily. From this basic concept, I have extrapolated that the teleport magics we all use, in fact, use abyssal space to make passing of great distances occur in very short space of time from our perception. What is actually happening is that the spellcasters entering the abyssal space and then immediately leaving again, with certain values as to speed and direction being taken care of in our spellcasting to allow for some degree of precision for these teleports. More worryingly, it seems that the barriers between our dimensional space and abyssal space have become somewhat weakened through excessive use. There have been isolated reports within the ZMI that creatures not native to our dimension have entered Gielinor through the abyssal space, as well as a teleportation malfunction that first resulted in our discovery of this dimension. The malfunction that he's talking about used to be one of the random events. When you would teleport, you'd get stuck in the abyss, and you'd have to do something to get out. I believe it was pull a certain lever in a thing. I strongly recommend that further research is taken. If these barriers between these dimensions are sufficiently weakened, there may exist a possibility of an alternative method to proceed with Operation Transient, without alerting to other deities of our plans. Conclusion 2. When we have accepted the abyssal space of somewhat tesseract or hypercube with a direct relation to our dimension, then the benefits of exploiting the resource to become more obvious. Certain creatures of the abyss may contain unnecessary surplus organs that may be harvested to provide carrying pouches for various magically unstable objects. That would be these pouches. They're small, medium, and large pouches, and they're for, oh, whoops, you put runes in them. Basically, I guess they're some organ from these. Alright, let's get back to where we was. I accidentally clicked out of it. Oh, well, hold on. Here it was back here. Where was it? Harvested magically unstable objects. Here we go. I ran into some experiments with sample XJ13, also known as Rune Essence, and managed to place 6 parts in a space that would seemingly only hold 1. Continued experimentation with these stolen samples showed that moving items between our dimension and abyssal space degraded the use of these pouches, but a simple transfiguration spell cast within the abyss upon the pouches restored their use back to the original results. Should we ever locate the source of these essences that the Wizard's Tower seemed to have an endless supply of, I would strongly recommend the harvesting of these creatures for their organs so they may maximize the efficiency of our rune manufacturing process. Some degree of caution will be necessary, as the creatures of the abyss are seemingly very aggressive. You can also get the whips there. Conclusion 3, I believe. I think that's where you get them from. Your first discovery is abyssal space was somewhat a fluke, and not easily repeatable fluke at that. It proved exceedingly difficult to find the correct mystical resonance for this dimension, due to my original belief that the abyssal space is not a fully fledged dimension of its own. So we had to resort to unusual measures to gain permanent access to this realm. We took a large number of initiates, and gave them each supplies to cast a portal spell. We then had them repeatedly teleport to various locations, seeking to replicate the original error that caused the first entry into the abyssal space. Once one of our inmates had managed to fail his teleport and appear in abyssal space, he was then charged with remaining there and holding a portal spell open so the more senior members of the ZMI could gain entry via his portal. This initiate is still there, and due to the intense concentration required to keep the portal open, it is my recommendation that we leave him there for holding the bridge open for us. Very nice of you. As initiate, he is always expendable should something go wrong, and the slow passage of time within the abyssal space means we don't need to worry about feeding him or anything. At the time of writing, this portal is still active, and will allow us to teleport people at will into abyssal space. The only downside is that the method of teleportation we are using is magic is provided to us by our Lord Zamorak himself, so anybody who uses this teleport will inevitably be marked by him or become skulled, as the common folk put it. There's an interesting side effect of this portal that various teleports within abyssal space are opened up by its casting. These teleports seem to lead to various temples dedicated to various magical elements, which I believe are directly related to the rumors we have intercepted about the rediscovery of runecrafting by the Wizard's Tower. So basically, I mean, I can show you later, but you go into the abyss, and inside the abyss there's a portal directly to any number of the rune altars. Sadly, we must conclude from these temples that the rumors are indeed true. The destruction of the Wizard's Tower had been in vain, and there was sacrifice of those who died to try and prevent the meddling of Ceredominists from gaining access to the creation of magical runes. I have detailed my findings relating to runecrafting in a separate document, and passed it on to my superiors, along with my recommendations on how to best to thwart their research further. Until a final decision is taken, I suggest we make the best of a bad situation and increase our own rune production to full manufacturing capabilities. I have already ordered buyers to purchase as much sample XJ13 as can be bought, and to hire some mercenaries to sabotage the research efforts of the Wizard's Tower, for failing to provide us some insight into where their steady supply of essence are coming from. Until my next report, I remain ever loyal servant. Strength through chaos. I love how scientific a document that was. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's really hilarious that that whole document was just kind of like, it felt very formal, and it felt like an actual, like, institution, which is really funny. Alright, let's put this here, and I'm gonna put this next to my rune essence somewhere down here. Where did I put my rune essence at? I don't even remember. Oh, duh. I put it next to my mad... Whoops. I didn't mean to take that out. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we can teleport to... the archaeology place, because I've got a bunch of stuff from the lighthouse to go do. Alright, we'll head in here, and we're going to go to the Everlight Lighthouse. Fantastic. Alright, so first off, I've got these, the journal pages, which I'm going to read now. I guess I'm going to do more reading. It was with sorrow in my heart that I left my home on Hallow, but I am duty-bound as queen to lead them in our Lord Saradomin's new campaign. In New Domina, we lived forever beneath the sun's light. Our floating capital moved with the sun, which lazily arced in our skies. The night on our home was incredibly dangerous, and few found it themselves within to survive the experience. Arriving on this so-called paradise was more than a shock. Saradomin arranged that all arrivals would be within daylight, but the sun moves so much faster here, and despite being warned to this fact, and reassured that the night is not in this world is not as inherently dangerous, every new Icene arrival has had the same fearful reaction. My kind are so acclimated to conditions on Hallow, we as a race are fundamentally afraid of the dark. This is something we will have to adapt to if we are to become an effective force for good here. As such, I have ordered construction of a tower on a small peninsula near where our city is being built. Lord Saradomin has promised to place within it a mote of his power, to act as a permanent beacon, both a lighthouse for new arrivals to aim for, and a comfort to ease us into this planet's incessant day-night cycle. It is somewhat styled after the main tower on New Domina, and it shall be named Everlight, for it will stand for all time, and to cast our light within the darkest recesses of this world. Queen Eferite. Nice name. Okay, I can destroy these as I read them now, because I know that they show up in my journal. Where do I read those? I should probably find that out. Let me see. Read archaeology journal. Would they be notes on field research? Okay. Proving grounds, field study, research. No, that's not it. General mysteries. Journal? I don't know where to read these from. Restorations complete. General mysteries. I have solved secrets of the monolith. Writings on the walls. Oh, interesting. I found Exile's Vow. Okay, so that's how I read them. Okay, they're in there. Alright, now I know. That's what I wanted to know. With construction of Everlight completed and more Icene arriving each day, work on our homes here has begun in earnest, along with a castle to serve as my seat. It shall sit nearest to our new beacon. My people have named this land Hallowed, both in honor of me and a testament to our home. From this foothold we are expanding northwards, with the hope of securing all land east of the river and creating chokeholds at every point of crossing. This will then provide my people with a bastion of safety from which to strike out against our Lord Saradomin's enemies, and a place to return to after each foray into the lands beyond. Yet, I must make this place more than just one of safety. It must feel more like a home. To that end, I have instigated a number of projects that should help our people settle here more easily. First, I have set in motion plans to hold regular games. Much like those back on Hallow, they will be both a source of pride for our people and something to look forward to. In time, we can invite other allied and friendly races to join in with us. Secondly, as morbid as a thought as it might seem, construction will soon begin on a graveyard south of our city here. Previous extraplanetary campaigns have taught us the cost of war, and though they are necessary, having a way to honor our fallen and remember them, to bring them home to their families provides us with strength to fight on. Finally, beyond our own needs, we will soon construct a number of settlements for our new human allies. It is important that we make them not feel alienated by our culture and show them that we and they can live side by side within the light of our Lord. Queen Eritife. Alright, let's destroy that one. Oh, hold on. Let me get this pile of Easter eggs here. It is still the Easter event, and I now have all of the... I now have all of the the rewards, there are still things I can gain from collecting those. So I will be collecting them on and off throughout these next couple episodes. Despite our presence in this world being a campaign of war, it has brought me the greatest joy I've ever felt in my life. Both a husband and a son, I am filled with love for them. Back on Hallowed, the expectation would have been to wed Archon Babel, a marriage of convenience. He is an odious man for whom I must tolerate, for he holds great sway over our military forces here, and they are needed to protect my beloved citizens. Yet Lord Sordorman and I spoke on this matter, this tradition. He encouraged its breaking when I told him of Askertes. The humans are our allies too, a power in their own right, and an alliance worth cementing as much as any from our home world. Of course, Lord Sordorman's blessing was given in knowledge that it was practical, yet he could see how much we were in love, and celebrated our joy as much as our duty being fulfilled. Our lord soon heads to the west with a newly formed force of human followers, supported by lions, unicorns, centaurs, and even Icene, though many of my kind shall remain behind at Everlight to stand guard. He sets out on a long campaign to raise the imperial capital of all Senistan once and for all. Throughout the first he must carve a path to it. Long has it been a blot on the land under the rule of Empty Lord, but now the usurper sits upon its throne almost as if nothing has changed in the intervening centuries. May the Everlight cast across the river and smite the river. Shush, I can read. May the Everlight cast across the river and smite our lord's enemies. Queen Eferete. Okay, let's destroy that one. Fantastic. And the final one. I am left with little choice but to acquiesce Draken's demands, for he holds my husband captive. His Vyas somehow breached the castle in the night. We fall back to Everlight, but in the confusion, Askertes was kidnapped. Archon Babel did not hold at Everlight, however, and continued his retreat to the east with the bulk of our remaining military force. And only my loyal royal guard remains, along with the non-military citizens. So this is how this whole area became the evil that it is now. So it looks like this was actually the entrance point of all of the Saradomin stuff that came here, and then it was taken over by all the evil, just like en masse. At least that's what it seems like. I have instructed those who cannot fight to flee however they can. There's no point in them giving up their lives for the Archon's cowardice. However, I must stay to ensure the survival of my husband, their king. Word of Lord Draken's ruthless reputation has carried even this far, and I dare not risk his fury being meted out on my loved ones. I have entrusted my child with 2 of his careers. My hope being they can smuggle him out to safety, perhaps to one of the nearby human settlements. The farther away they can get, the better, though it is hardly any safer across the river. The royal guards say they will not leave my side, and they know that there will likely means. When the time comes, I have instructed a handful of them to sabotage access to the Everlight. I do not imagine a Draken would attempt to steal its power for himself. It's probable a creature such as he could not benefit from it, but it's best not to take the risk. No, I fully expect he will attempt to snuff it out, but on failing to do so, will simply destroy the tower or sink it beneath the waves. He and his Vyas despise the light it casts and would not abide for a second longer than they must. Darkness shall fall on Hallowed this day, for Everlight is forsaken. Queen Eferete. Interesting. Okay. So, the vampires took over, and clearly, she wants me to destroy the lighthouse. Okay, I get it, I get it. Alright, let me destroy these. But I do have a couple of things that I need to talk to her about. If you aren't here to tell me you figured out a way to turn the blasted light off, why are you here? I want to talk about mysteries. Fallen angels. Okay, I found some Icene remains in one of the mass graves. What are you telling me for? I wasn't here when this place fell. The sacking of Everlight was my brother's doing. I wasn't trying to guilt you or anything, I was just wondering what I could do with them. Alright, well, in the spirit of peace, I imagine Eferete would want them reburied with somewhere reverence. I've researched Icene burial rites at some point, and there's an Icene graveyard in the coast just south of here. They used to be buried with these flat circular ceremonial artifacts. They look like frying pans to me. So, maybe I should take these remains, find one of these so-called frying pans, and then rebury them together with the Icene graveyard south of here? I mean, if you like. Oh, okay, I have frying pans, actually. Frying pans. So they're not actually frying pans. That's actually pretty funny. That means I'm gonna have to get another one. Because I need 2 of them for the collections. That's okay. So do I have to go down here? Rotate clockwise. Is it in the... Oh, the empty grave. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is interesting. Felt like a good deed done. I should inform Venescula back at the... blah, 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 blah. Cool. You have unlocked new music. Lament for the Hallowed. Alright, I don't know what I do with the Prodami Buckler. I got that, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do with it. Oh, give me them eggs. And these eggs. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, mysteries. Okay, cool. So I can just click on her and skip right to those. Fallen Angels. So I reburied some of the Icene remains in the graveyard from south of here, along with one of those frying pan things. Did you want a medal or something? I mean, it did feel a bit more pious. Oh, fine. I'll inform Eferite of your pious deeds. Happy now? Oh, is she still alive? Oh. I didn't know that. Cool. I have some more mysteries here. The Everlight. Do you know where I might make use of an Icene buckler shield? Not a clue, but we are only discovering them rarely here. Unlike the other artifacts, they appear to still be in pristine condition. I would suggest you hold on to them until you figure out their purpose. Okay, cool. Not that then. So... I guess I need to put this away for now. I'm going to put it here. So it's next to Everlight. And I'm going to put away that for now. So, what did I learn? I didn't learn anything? Oh, well, you know what? Either way, that's about the time I've got for this episode. Like and subscribe if you like the episode. Ring that bell if you'd like to see more. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye!